Well, the real world starts today, homeboy.
Yeah, it's good.
Ashton's here on work experience. Emotional attachment, like.
Well, the thing is, I've taken out the old engine, the old diffs, the old this, the old that, chucked in all this new stuff. All right, change is good.
That's exciting.
Oh my god. Actually, oh, that looks so tough. That. Oh.
Morning! Bit of a milestone again today, eh?
Yeah.
You've been at trade college at AITC now for, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks so far.
Well, the real world starts today, homeboy.
Yeah, it's good.
Ashton's here on work experience.
Yes.
So, for the next, I think, 7 odd weeks you've got now,
Yep.
that we're going to start hoeing back into the 45. Now, he's going to be working with all the different trades that have been involved. Now, the car has been out since you've last seen it. It's been up to a couple of really good mates of ours at Amped Automotive. They helped out with all the wiring harness, and they crushed, did they not?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So the truck, now the coolers are in, the wiring harness is all but done. We've actually got Joel up here from Helm. Say morning.
Morning.
So Joel is in here just finishing off the rest of the harness stuff. What's he actually doing?
So there's just like a couple of broken clips and things here and there, and like some messed up wires, and he's just making everything nice and working well. And then once this gets torn all apart again, we'll remake the whole harness and delete everything that's not needed anymore.
I think probably more specifically though, what's he doing? Because we're about put the 6x6 plenum on.
Yeah.
What's happened with the throttle bodies?
So we've lost the throttle bodies, so I have to kind of like piggyback wire them together so the ECU does think that they're there when they're really not.
Yeah, so what we've actually done is we've bolted the throttle bodies down on the chassis rail behind the firewall. Joel's making up a patch harness right now, so we're tricking the ECU into thinking the throttle bodies are still there, but they're actually not, because you've got a piece of jewellery from your daddy going on your truck.
A piece of jewellery, yes. So how you polish an X mining engine is you just lobster back everything.
Lobster back the whole lot. And I think that's one of the big things that you're going to see. So, Pedro, one of the fabricators from Patriot Campers here, is going to be working with Ashton for the next couple of weeks. You'll probably meet him tomorrow.
Yep.
You're going to be learning some really cool skills. So we're going to continue the lobster back here, get everything all plumbed up. You're going to see Ash doing all of that sort of stuff, learning stainless TIG. You haven't done really any, have you?
Yeah, I've done like a tiny bit, but not much.
Yep, so he's going to learn how to stainless TIG. Unfortunately, Christian is back at school now. Working on exams. How sad.
How sad.
And you're here doing cool things.
I'm here doing cool things.
Look, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to hand it over to Ashton from here. That's enough from me. But you're going to really start seeing this thing take life. But the plan for this week, let's try and get this thing started.
We're not going to try, we're going to get it done. It is running this week. I'm sick of seeing it it's like just sitting there, not doing anything. I want to hear it. I want to drive it. Love
the attitude. Camera's over to you, boy. Let's get it done.
Pedro isn't here today, so we can't get all the intercooler and radiator piping done today. So he's going to teach me how to tickle that up tomorrow. But we have the nice Mega 6 intake just chilling there, just waiting to get all hooked up. And we have the wiring getting all fused together for the throttle bodies delete because of the new intake. So the guys from Amped Automotive did an amazing job with getting all the harness in, and they've run the whole thing. If you hook up a battery to the terminals, it does crank, it just won't fire yet. But on Friday, the boys from GSL are coming down and they're going to get this key barrel out of the ECU. So they're deleting out this so I can use my normal key because I like keeping interiors OEM. But if you want to come and have a look at this, we have grafted a 79 series shingle cab gauge cluster into the 45 dash. So looks pretty OEM at the moment. It doesn't have any glass in it yet, so you can kind of like move a little. It's kind of fun. And the reason why we have put a 79 series dash in it is one, because it's just plug and play with the whole harness, engine and gearbox, and everything will light up. So when I put it into low range and all that, that'll all light up. I've got my fuel tank switches. I'll get like a handbrake light. I've got all my battery voltage and engine temperatures. So you've got a little FJ49 Easter egg in there. If we haven't explained it, which I think we have, but 45, 79, 49. It's awesome. If you remember the Land Cruiser Park episodes, I was drenched in sweat because these old cars don't have aircon, but we've installed a little AC unit so that there's AC heat and defrost, so it'll just plumb up to all the defrosting things. And you may be asking where all the aircon vents are going to come out. While I've been at school getting kind of used to the whole new school thing, Pedro's been in here and he's tacked up and put together a couple of things. He's made up the whole transmission tunnel. It looks amazing. He's a really good fabricator and makes everything look awesome, even though it's not even done yet. But there's the whole trans tunnel, and then on top of that, we're mounting my whole center console and dash units. So this just go on the driver's side, little aircon vent there. There's my OEM handbrake port because I want to keep the OEM handbrake because it's cool. So that kind of goes up in there like that. So, and then you've got another two AC vents, and we'll have a little iPad in here for my maps and my beats, of course, because you can't go without that in a 45. And then over here we've got the next panel, which comes up and goes in behind here, another AC vent, and then all my fuse box will go in there. So we'll kind of have two glove boxes. Then a little AC controller comes down here in this little section, and then another FJ49. So I'm going to chuck all of this on the bench into the car, and then tomorrow me and Pedro will be doing all of the engine bay things, maybe a little bit of the exhaust. The next piece, this goes on top of the trans tunnel and it covers the whole AC unit. It is also the base for the rest of the dash components, so it's beautiful. The first part of the interior is in before it all gets taken back out and painted, but this was just a test fit. So I got a little fuse box panel thing in there. It's gonna have a little hatch on top, so I can like even chuck things in there, even though fuse box is in there. There's like a whole handy amount of room. Then I got the other glove box as well, so dual glove box, fuse box, aircon vent here, aircon vent there. I get to keep the whole top of the dash looking good, even though now, since I don't have most of these switches in, because they're mostly like these things, like, you know, choke, which obviously I don't need because I don't have a carb anymore, but there was like fan pulls and things all in there for the old like just air fan thing. Got a welding, all that, move this probably down here, wipers over here, then hazards probably here or over on that side. Then I can weld in all this, make it look all clean, so it looks like a clean dash. iPads going here for of my beats and maps. The AC controller's gonna be down here, so you can just your AC, the FJ49 logo, and two little bins. As you can see, there's no actually like center console armrest because I'm gonna keep the bench seats for now because I still have a couple mates who don't have their P's and they want to go for rides, and also it's cool taking a lot of people in your car, even though it's all cramped and stuff. But after that, and once I save up, I'll buy some nice Now seats, maybe a Waco center console fridge in there. We got the FJ49 gauge cluster. Nice little Mr. Land Cruiser air freshener. I'll definitely be chucking that in once the car's running. All the lights. I've got the next piece, which is another AC vent, just a little thing. Then obviously the cutout for the handbrake, so I can still use the OEM handbrake, which the brake light will work on there, and there'll also be a brake light in the gauge cluster as well. But I got my seat in, it's perfect. Drifting, got my transfer case in there. You can see that I can like push my accelerator and the clutch, obviously that's not connected. That's it. Looks amazing, it's beautiful. On to the next thing.
So I've just come down to see what's going on. I think I just lit a fire. So we just had a quick discussion. What if it had the ability to take 35? So I've just called Jack down. Come over here, you should send the look on his face. He's like, oh no, here we go again. What's going on?
How's it going?
You're caffeinated, aren't you?
What are we talking about?
Talking about how we're going to make 35s fit on this thing.
How Jack's going to make 35s fit?
Yes.
Well, no, I'm just going to point people in the right direction.
All right, so what's the plan? You want the ability for 35s.
I want 2 foot 35s.
But I don't think you're going to be able to get it registered on 35s.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we're just going to chuck in our new coils and our new rear parabolic leafs and the extended shackles, and we're going to see how it flexes up with no shocks in it, because we need to order some shocks that are perfect for the flex that this is going to have, and we need to get the bumps in to make sure that we're not going to kiss anything that we don't want to.
All right, I did have a surprise coming for you, but I think that we're going to have to announce the surprise right now before you go down this path, because you've got to get this right. Mm-hmm. We've got a diff correction coming for you from JMACX.
Oh, yeah. Serious?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Jace from JMACX, he's found out about the project as usual. He wants to get involved. He's sending you down diff correction. So here's what you're going to need to do. Take the wheels off the black truck. Yep. Because they're the right offset, the PCOR wheels with the 35s. Bolt all them up.
Yep.
And then flex it up and see what it does. But I think your rear guard's going to have to go.
Yeah, they're going to have to get, like, just chopped off a little bit.
Cut into this?
I'm totally okay. As long as it's on 30.
What's the emotional attachment like?
Well, the thing is, I've taken out the old engine, the old diffs, the old this, the old that, chucked in all this new stuff. All right, change is good.
Change is good. So I think, as usual, the build has just taken a little turn. Yep. Get the wheels on, flex it up, then Jack will come down, have a look at it, measure up bumps, and we're going to have to measure the open close lengths on the shocks, and we're going to have to order some custom shocks, because we want this thing to flex as best as possible.
Yes, for sure.
And Jack knows leaf springs. I don't know anything about it.
Jack doesn't.
I don't have a lot of experience with parabolics though.
Yeah, well,
So I'm interested to see what they do.
Young keen.
I need to stay away from here. I think I'm the worst person for this project. All right, I'm out. I'm going. See ya. Bye.
So these coils give the car a 2-inch lift over the OEM coils that are in there, and they're a little bit softer. So obviously, because a 45 isn't as heavy as a 79, that'll make up for a bit of weight difference, and also since they're softer, it'll flex easier. Oh, that's cool. Relax. Relax. Not relaxed. Changing leaves sucks, but it's fun, because leaves are cool. I don't care what anyone says. I'm good. There we go.
You're on. Boom. FJ on 35's.
Yes.
Brushstrokes, cutthroat from the low, where no love goes. Women buddy like it's been that. When I'm looking at the bill stack, off the buddy, I get stressed out. Let the smoke scream from my chest out. Laced up.
Hard to imagine now seeing the black truck. That's the wheels that it come with from factory. What do you reckon, Ash?
Oh, it's adorable.
It does look adorable, doesn't it?
39's one of the only cars that make 35's look tiny.
Because they look massive on there. Let's get the last one on.
Yeah, they look huge, yeah.
Dude, it looks ridiculous.
Hold it down when you talk to me. Say it is what it's supposed to be. Say it loud, but I mean it too, yeah.
No, come up. Just watch that shock goes in on that side. Hang on. Yep.
That looks sexy, yeah.
Pretty badass, dude.
Landlocked, two bathroom. And they liable to talk, but it's mad rubbish. It don't mean nothing. From the soil trying to make it to the top floor.
So do you think 2 inches was enough or not?
Yeah, I think it was good. So tough.
What do you reckon?
It's a little bit cool now, isn't it? Gee, that looks cool now, eh?
Get rid of that, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Don't hit the hoist.
Yeah, we don't want to hit the hoist.
Stop there.
It's just about to touch on the back corner of the tub.
What we on now is wild shit trip. Life is lit, take a breath.
Oh, that's lovely.
Go again.
That's about where it was on the OEM.
Stop there. Stop there. You're on the tray now, mate. Those springs are still too stiff, I reckon.
That looks massive.
They're not compressing enough, but
Yeah, that's because that's made that weight.
I reckon those front springs are way
I
too
reckon you're
heavy.
going to have to run like 2 PSI to get these tyres to bag the car so light. So your diff stays parallel to the body.
The spring's not even moving, dude. They're way too heavy.
Way too heavy.
This is where we're going to go into uncharted territory. Obviously, this hasn't been done before, so this is the first start. A little bit disappointed, but it's all part and parcel of it, right? So we've picked out the gear that we thought was going to work the best. These are probably the softest springs, front springs we could find with a 2-inch lift. But you can see, as he lifts it up, you can see the springs aren't compressing at all. Like, they're barely even moving, so the spring's not even working. And that disc staying perfectly parallel with the car as well. You know, you want to start seeing it, or the body kind of roll over and the springs stopping it, so the bonnet is kind of coming up as the diff comes up. So that's all right. That's all good. We got King Springs just down the road. We could literally walk down the road down there. At least we know that they're way too stiff, and we probably need to go half of that, eh? Probably half is where you'd start. Yep, come down just a touch. Yep, right there.
Oh, that's alright.
That's pretty good, dude.
Actually, oh, that looks so tough. That, oh. That's...
We're going to have to wrap up today, dude. We're going to have to finish up right here because we've got some slidey board things to go and do with your brother. Yeah, we do. We're going to the dyno this afternoon. We're going to dyno at JDM car.
Yeah, and it's not my car, fortunately. It'll be on the dyno soon.
But it's someone that looks exactly like him. I wonder who that could be. Let's finish up today. Do a quick pack up because we'll get down to the dyno. We're going to go meet your brother. Oh, did I just give it away?
Oh.
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 See you tomorrow. I feel like I'm 17 again. Back in the dyno room with an SR20 on the dyno. Who would have ever thought At my age, I'd still be mucking with stuff like this. You guys keep me young.